Among Emperor Shi Hao's three wives, who was truly the one he loved the most? This is a question that has lingered in the hearts of many fans of Perfect World. Each of the three women, Huo Linger, Qingyi, and Yunxi, played a unique role in his life. Each represented a different stage of his journey, and each left a mark on his soul that time could never erase. Let's begin with Huo Linger, the very first woman who entered Shi Hao's life. Huo Linger and Shi Hao met during their youth, at a time when innocence defined their world. Their relationship began not with romance but with rivalry as they competed for Juyan. But that early encounter was the beginning of something deeper. Huo Linger became Shi Hao's closest companion before he even set foot in the upper realm. They were childhood friends who grew up together in the wilderness, bound by countless memories and shared experiences. Back then, Huo Linger had already fallen for Shi Hao, her feelings sincere and unwavering. Time and again, she pleaded with the Fire Emperor to protect him, to offer him guidance and support. But young Shi Hao was still too naive to understand what love meant. He would tease her, calling her fat girl, not realizing the emotional weight of her silent devotion. She may have been small and immature in appearance, but her heart was already tied to his. As they grew older, their destinies became more entwined. Together they joined Butian Pavilion. Together they ventured into the ancestral lands of the Fire Nation. Eventually, fate led them to the upper realm, where their paths crossed once more. And it was there that they held a simple yet heartfelt wedding. There were no crowds, no fanfare, just the Fire Emperor and the ancient fire mulberry tree standing witness. Shi Hao made a promise that day. Once he achieved greatness, he would show Huo Linger the beauty of the world. But fate had other plans. Shi Hao went off to fight in the brutal battle of Emperor Pass, while Huo Linger waited patiently for his return, guarding their promise in the solitude of the fire mulberry forest. Yet tragedy struck. Sin State was taken away by Anlian, and just like that, the two lovers were separated by 1,000,000 years. That simple wedding, that heartfelt promise, those things became a distant memory in the face of endless time. Huo Linger became a symbol of the love that was lost, the wound that never healed, the chapter that never truly closed. Then there is Yunxi, the woman who gave Shi Hao not just love, but unwavering companionship. If love is about standing by someone through every trial and tribulation, then Yunxi represents the purest form of that love. She stayed by Shi Hao's side longer than anyone else. Among all three women, she was the only one to bear his child, their son, little Shitu. Their bond began in Baiduan Mountain, where whispered conversations and shared dreams brought them closer. Together, they explored the mysterious Kunpeng's nest, building a connection rooted in trust and shared destiny. Later, when they reunited in the upper realm, Shi Hao chose to conceal his identity for her safety. Even then, he risked everything, facing danger and crossing 100,000 miles just to protect her from harm. When the immortal breaking curse threatened to destroy Shi Hao, Yunxi stood her ground. Even though her own people, the Celestial Clan, tried to stop her, she chose to follow Shi Hao to the lower realm without hesitation. That act alone proved the depth of her love and loyalty. She didn't just support him in moments of victory, she stood beside him at his lowest point, when he was broken and vulnerable. Yunxi witnessed it all. She saw Shi Hao rise from near ruin to become the legendary Emperor Huangtian. She watched him build his power, claim the heavens, and command respect across all realms. Through it all, she remained by his side, not out of obligation, but out of love. And when the great dark turmoil arrived and the world faced collapse, Shi Hao made one final effort to protect her. He sealed her away in the divine abyss, not out of rejection, but out of love, to shield her from the destruction he could not stop. Yunxi represents endurance, resilience, and the kind of love that survives even the end of the world. Lastly, we have Qing Yi, the woman with the strongest talent and possibly the deepest mystery. Qing Yi was unlike anyone else. Her strength was unmatched, her destiny possibly tied to that of an ancient immortal. She and Shi Hao were seen by many as the most well-matched couple in terms of power, intelligence, and status. She was also the first among the three to officially marry Shi Hao. Their wedding took place in the lower realm, witnessed by Shi Hao's parents and even the main body of Yuchan. It was a union blessed by both family and fate. After they entered the upper realm, Qingyi and Shi Hao walked the path of cultivation together. They joined Tianxian Academy, took on ancient enemies side by side, and journeyed through the heavens as equals. Their relationship was filled with both clarity and ambiguity, shaped by deep emotional bonds and occasional complexities. There was passion, there was trust, and above all, there was mutual understanding. Even after Emperor Huangtian fell, Qingyi did not hesitate. To seek vengeance for the man she loved, she agreed to merge with Yuexin's true form, sacrificing a part of herself to keep going. And when Shi Hao rose again in the immortal realm, she was there. She chose to stay by his side, never leaving, never wavering. Like Yunxi, she too was sealed in the divine abyss when the world collapsed. It was not an end, but a pause, a quiet shelter after a life of battles fought together. So now we return to the question, among these three remarkable women, Huo Linger, Qingyi, and Yunxi, who did Shi Hao truly love the most? Was it Huo Linger, the first love of his youth, who waited for him through 1,000,000 years and left a wound that time could not heal? Was it Yunxi, the loyal companion who stood by him through suffering, war, and glory, who bore his child and witnessed every moment of his rise and fall? Or was it Qing Yi, the powerful soulmate who walked beside him as an equal, through battles and trials, through victories and heartbreaks? The truth is, each of them held a different piece of Shi Hao's heart. Huo Linger was his memory of innocence, of simpler times, of love that bloomed before he even knew what love was. Yunxi was the embodiment of loyalty, of staying when things got hard, of building a life together in the face of endless adversity. And Qingyi was the partner of his soul, the woman who walked his path as a fellow warrior, as someone who truly understood the weight he carried. Shi Hao was not a man who could be defined by a single emotion, and neither was his love. Perhaps he didn't have a single favorite. Perhaps his heart was divided, equally, painfully, eternally. So what do you think? Among the three wives of Emperor Shi Hao, who was his true love? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth explorations of the characters and stories from Perfect World.